Hey, so this is Social 19, and welcome. We always start out with some music by Manat, just because you listen to it because it's awesome, right? So at least those songs are, and so anyway, it's just like it's a nice way to start the semester and blast us off, so to speak, and. Yes, so anyway, welcome. It's great. It's great to be here. It's great to be in the middle of the pandemic. It's great to be anywhere, actually. Great to be able to say that I'm anywhere. And so here we are. And I'm Sam. So there we go. And for a moment, wait, you got me? I'm gonna take my mask off for a hot minute, all right? So hold your breath. We're all good. And just so you can see me, that I'm like a real person and I smile. I'm always smiling, by the way. My nickname when I was young was Smiley, and I'm always smiling. So like there's so many things that I say up here, so many jokes I make. They're not that funny. I mean, I'm not really fond of dad jokes, but I did used to work as a stand-up comedian back in the day. And the comedian who just died, Bob Saget, I actually opened for him at a comedy club one time. I mean, I wasn't funny. No, hang on. No. I was the amateur. And they had me open for him so that the real comedians would be really actually funny. I wasn't very funny. Whatever, they invited me back. But in any case, the point is, I'm always under my mask, smiling and making comments and whatever. It's fun, but you'll never see that because I'm gonna have my mask on all the time. And so that's the way it is. So if it seems weird, if I say something you think I think that was a joke, but I'm not really sure. Well, that's how this is. That's the world we're in right now. So anyway, it's all good. And hang on, let me get it back. It's kind of like, it's all good. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Anyway, you call me Sam. You can call me Dr. Richards if you want. But once my mother died, it never mattered. She always wanted people to call me Dr. Richards because, I came from the working class and that means something. But she died, and so now nobody has to call me Dr. Richards. So you can call me Sam, right? So that's fine. If you want to call me Dr. Richards, you call me whatever you want, really, but it's fine, okay? So we're here. I think it's going to be a really good semester, and no, it's going to be a really good semester. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that it's going to be an interesting and a good semester, and that's it. I'm going to introduce you to a bunch of people, and definitely introduce you in the next several days to folks. There are a lot of people behind this class, a lot of people making it happen, and I'm just really a small and maybe in some ways inconsequential part of it, but there are a lot of other people who are doing some really cool stuff, so I want to make sure you know who they are. And then, we're here together. So I'm calling that, we give titles to every class. That every class is different, by the way, every semester. So you could take 119 in an ideal world, you could take Social 119 every semester, not that anybody would want to do that, but you could take it every semester and it would be a different class. So we never know what we're going to talk about until a lot of things that happen in the news, in the media, things that come up one day and we'll talk about them in class the next day. It's very fluid. And so we come up with titles for things. Anyway, today is Blast Off 2022. All right, so that's me. The first semester I started teaching Social 119. Obviously, I don't look like that now because this thing happens for many people where, your hair thins. And, it got to a point where you know, when you put those bungees, bro, when you start putting the bungees in your hair, wait, hang on. Can you get a shot of that guy? Alex. Alex. No, Alex. Get a shot of that guy in the corner right there. The guy in the corner. That's where you used to sit. Get a close-up of him. Hang on, he'll let you know. They'll let you know when you get a close-up. Put him up on the screen. I want people to see your hair. So I used to have hair like that, right? And then when you put the bungee, the scrunchie or whatever you call it, they're like, dude, let's see your hair, man. Take your hat off. Dude, he's a hair guy, man. You're like a serious dude. All right. That's the beauty of having cameras in the room, you know? All right, thanks, Alex. So you twist it so many times, and then at some point it doesn't work anymore, and so that's how life is. All right, man, let me say something about myself. So, let me say something about Social 19. First off, the class is called Race, Ethnicity, and Culture. It's half U.S. focused and half international focused. And so we talk about issues, people, culture from all over the world. I am very much, my background is, my early studies were in the political economy of Latin America and Africa. And I'm very global focused, but I'm also really U.S. focused. So it's really nice that it's half and half. And again, we don't know what the issues will be this semester. It just changes. It kind of depends on what shows up in the news and where we go and who's in class. And so I came to Penn State. I was living in Ecuador in South America doing research, and then I came up here in 1990 because my, at the time, girlfriend, she was more than a girlfriend, kind of. We were committed to be together, but we weren't officially together. And she was in graduate school here, working on her PhD in human development. And so I came here and just started teaching one class at a time, and never left. Always thought I would leave. We both thought we would leave. We never imagined we would stay in State College. It just happened that we just ended up here. And so I was teaching in Soch, and then I had a part-time appointment in what was then called African and African American Studies, teaching the inequalities class. And I did these two classes for about 12 years. And then it just kind of slowly moved over to this class, and just, again, never left. I mean, there are all sorts of things. So in the meantime, many things have happened. I'll talk about a lot of those things. But this class has evolved over time. It started with about 150 students in Waring Commons, and then now we get here, right? And I enjoy it. I think the issues are really important. I enjoy the fact that students from all over the world, including Togo, from all over the world enroll in the class. So I get to talk to them, you all get to talk to them, we get to meet each other. And so it makes for what I think is a really fascinating and an important environment to understand some things that are happening in the world, which is this global world that we're in. It's a very, very global system, okay? So anyway, let me see. Can you go to the next slide? I guess I'll say more. That's me, by the way. And I use this photo because I think it says something. That's my father, who in that photo is younger than I am now. And although he looks old, like people looked older back then. You know what I mean? I mean, he was old. He was like 58, maybe 59. But anyway, it says something about me, right? Like I grew up with parents who didn't care if I played with dolls and pink dolls on top of that. It didn't matter. You know, I grew up early on in this world where basically my dad died when I was 9, and so after that I was on my own, and I was a bit of a let's just say I had a fun childhood. I started smoking pot when I was 12. So let me just say that I had a very interesting childhood, okay? I raised myself largely. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, I just thought I was responsible for myself, right? So, but the key thing is that I didn't have to be inside of any boxes. And once he died, I really didn't have to be inside of any boxes because like grades didn't matter. It was irrelevant. I would skip class on a regular basis in high school and go like find my way down to the library and just hide in the back. First off, I'd just go out to the railroad tracks and, you know, like do a little bit of that. And then I would go to the library and I would just read books, you know, because classes I didn't see any sense in them. I mean, what's the point, right? And I would read and I just was sucking up information and ideas, but I did it on my own because my classes seemed like completely worthless and unimportant. And largely they probably were, but maybe they weren't. Maybe I my teachers were saying really interesting things and I didn't know it. Just like in this class, I might actually say, I might stumble upon a couple really interesting ideas at some point this semester, but you might not even notice. And then once again, I might not. And so that's kind of how it goes. One never knows. But I was able to live outside the boxes. And I've lived my entire life to a degree outside the boxes. And so I enjoy that. It's important. I don't want to follow other people. You get one life. And so and then once I became a sociologist, I realized that everything in life is working to get me to be inside the lanes. And everything, like why do I want to be in the lanes, right? Everything is working to take free thought and free expression and free action away from me because that's what socialization is about. You can't be free. I mean, there's no such thing as freedom. You can be a little more free, but usually we're a little less free. The people who think they're the most free are generally the people who are the least free. But nonetheless, I've very much lived my life that way, and I teach that way. So if you have any expectations, so I'm sure many of you have heard about, Sam Richards, he thinks this, he thinks that. No, I don't. You have no idea what I think. First off, because you'll never know what I think. Because I'm too mentally ill to be able to express it clearly in a room like this. That's the first thing. But secondly, you just won't know because I don't know what I think. I'm all over the place. And I think a lot of things. I'm really left-wing, radical left, and I'm really right-wing, radical right. And I don't mean like neo-Nazi type thing. I mean like true right, true conservative is like a libertarian conservative. An idea, a person who really believes deeply in the idea that human life, social life, would thrive and prosper if human beings could express their freedom as much as possible and we're not curtailed from doing that. And as long as you don't step on other people and as long as you don't harm other people and that sort of thing, then life wants to express itself. We're like weeds growing out of sidewalks, that we will grow and we will express ourselves and lots of cool things will happen. That's a fundamental libertarian idea. And at the same time, down here at this other end, it's this idea that, you know, human beings, man, people kind of can get a little crazy. Like if you don't have speed limits, and if you don't tell people to drive on the right side of the road, and you don't tell people this, you don't say wear masks, or who knows what it is, people just get crazy and start doing all sorts of nutty things. And so we got to have rules. So we got to have some rules, and the rules are going to really hold things in place so that it works for all of us, right? Like we couldn't do what we're doing now if you all were just like doing anything you felt like doing, or if I just decided to speak whatever language I decided to speak. Like there are rules, right? So it makes it better for everybody. The problem is when you have so many rules, you have too many rules, then you really just destroy it for everybody, right? And so the people down here are saying like, hey, can you just cut back on some of the rules? Like, you know what I mean? Just like, don't go too far, right? Don't go too far. Because pretty soon we're all just like living in prisons. And the people down here are saying, yeah, I got that, but look, there are a lot of problems in the world. And if we don't come together to solve those problems collectively, this is going to be a shitstorm. Like global climate collapse. You know what I mean? This is real. Like if we don't come together and figure out how to do this, then the whole human experiment's over. So we need some rules. We need to get people to do certain things. And the people down here are saying like, yeah, whatever. So you understand, I'm back and forth between these two places all the time. And politically, I'm a white guy, man. I'm mostly a cisgender white guy, right? I mean, truthfully, if my wife dies before, can I get personal? I'll get personal, right? Whatever, right? Okay, if my wife dies before me, I'll probably be with a guy. And it's just nothing against women, but I've been living with a woman for a long time. She's through menopause, which says something really important. For those of you whose mothers are in menopause, right? You could tell your mother, tell your father, if your parents are together, even if they're not, tell your father I said this. My wife's got through menopause. We're still married. And it's all just smooth sailing from here on out, right? But I'll probably still be with a guy. I don't know, just because, I just have a different feel with guys, right? So anyway, but nonetheless, at this stage of the game, I'm straight, I'm white, I'm a guy, I'm solidly upper middle class. I'm actually upper class. I'm fully upper class. Look, I was born, so check this out. So are you, by the way. Most everybody in this room is from an upper class family. If you are in this room, I'm going to talk about this later in the semester, but I just wanted to chew on this. Here's like a social 19 detail. If you're in this room, I can guarantee that almost every person in this room is in the richest 1% of people on the planet. On the planet. And if you're not now, your family is, and if you're not at this point, you will be when you get to be my age, if you do, and we don't all collapse this whole thing. So, like the richest 1%. So, you don't need a lot of money. It's like $1 million or more. That includes savings, that includes your house, that includes your car, that includes everything you own, all this stuff. You put it together, you got $1 million, and that puts you in the richest 1% of the world. And so, like, when I'm thinking about, oh, am I rich? Like, this is what we do, right? Can you see what we do? Like, we go like, oh, yeah, but, Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, those are really rich people. Like, I'm not really rich. I'm like, the fuck? Man, like, don't compare yourself to them. Compare yourself to people all over the world. And when you look all over the world, most everybody is here is in the richest 1%. When we talk about the 1%, that's you. It's most everybody in here. So that's like a reframing kind of thing. And that's why it's important. Man, you know what happens? Once you take your mask off, you can never get it on correctly again. This is the thing. Like, you just never, I got to take it all off, but I got all these things in here, and I wore glasses today instead of contacts, and here I am. Okay, so you get that, right? And so how different would you think about life if you really understood, looked in a mirror and said, my family is in the richest 1% of the world's population, right? How would you think about life differently? It changes things. Like, damn, 1%, dog. That means you lined up 100 people, and there's 99 down there, and you're here by yourself. It's like, okay. So, now, that's the kind of stuff that we will bring home. So there's a lot of things that I'll say to and about white people, let's say, right? That need to be said, that I think need to be said, right? And some of you are going to be like, yeah, that's great. I'm really happy he's saying that. Because, you're like liberals and you're whatever it is, right? Which doesn't mean you get it, by the way. But some of you will be uncomfortable, right? But I'm also going to say some things to black and brown people in here, for which black and brown people some of you, or all of you, or some of you are going to be really uncomfortable. Because I get my whiteness. But I also been around the planet a long time, and I get my whiteness in a way that I also don't live with I don't struggle with my whiteness, right? Because that's not my job, is to struggle with it. I used to, but I don't anymore. And so I'm in a position where everybody in the class is going to get challenged. You have to get challenged. And so if you feel like someday, like, whoa, I'm really challenging your beliefs, well, know that the next day or the day before that, I was challenging someone else's beliefs, okay? So if you're really left, we're going to have fun. Because I love, like, just the thinking of the left, especially, like, the arrogant liberal left. God. And if you're right, especially if you're like Trump-level Republican right. If you're conservative, we're going to have a lot of fun, because while I embrace libertarian thinking, we'll have fun with libertarians in here, because like libertarianism is this idea, this freedom thing I was talking about earlier. It's like half of it is like the craziest thinking you ever came across. It's like, who the hell thought of that? And then the other half kind of makes sense. It's kind of like thinking on the far left. It's a similar kind of thing, right? Half of it totally makes sense, and the other half is just wacky. Kind of like my thinking. No, my thinking, most of it's wacky, but it's all good. So everyone's going to get challenged, okay? There's nothing PC in this class, okay? Last semester was the first semester in a long time. Not a long time, but first semester in a bit. Didn't have any major complaints. I think because I have a jacket, I have this mask on, and I can't tell jokes. And when I tell jokes and nobody laughs, because, whatever, you can't laugh at a joke. When you can see someone's face, and then I just stopped telling jokes. I was like, fuck, we can't do this. Like, so then there's no more. And so then if I'm not telling jokes, it's like not an edgy thing. And the jokes got to be edgy. You watch stand-up routines. People are edgy. And people say things in stand-up routines that are like, oh my God. If you read the transcript, you listen to somebody talking about who knows what. I don't know, some issue that's really serious. Like infant mortality or who knows what. And if you actually read the transcript of what that comedian is saying, it's so offensive. But if you're listening to it, you're laughing because it's like, oh, okay. Well, sometimes for me, I forget that this is a class, or you all forget that it's okay. I'm not offensive, right? First off, I'm really not offensive. I don't do the sex stuff. I just am not really. I don't think I'm offensive at all. But sometimes, once in a while, all it takes is one person to be like, oh, I'm offended by that. And then it just goes, right? So, but it's not, I won't offend you. It's highly unlikely I'll offend you, but I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Nidhi, what am I talking about? I'm just trying to I know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to give you a sense of where we're at here, okay? All right, so we did my thing. You looked at me. Curiosity. Oh, by the way, my GPA in college was 2.9, and I'm here. I don't know if that's good or bad. My SAT scores, I scored in the 51st percentile, so I'm above average. Mind you, I was drunk, high, and hungover when I took them. And nor did I even know what they were. I had to borrow a pencil from somebody. But whatever, I got in the 51st percentile. I only want to be above average. That's it on most things. But I don't take grades. I don't care about grades. I don't care about your grade. I really don't care. Like, you got to know. Like, it just doesn't, like, this world that we live in, where somehow it's all about the grade and it's not about learning and thinking. I don't like that world. I can't believe I'm still teaching after having been in it for a while, but I found a solution. And my solution in this class is like you accumulate points in this class. And you know how many points you need to accumulate to get the grade that you want. And for most of you, except like maybe, I don't know, the potheads or something. It's like, it's most of you, it's an A. And like, so you know you got to get these points. And it's not difficult to get the points. Really, it's not. But you have to do it. And you have to do the work. You can't like not do the reading and watch the videos for the quizzes and then think that you're going to do well. You're not. You have to do the reading and the video and watch the videos. And then you'll score like 95%. Like that's the median score. Like you'll do really well. But if you don't do that, you won't. And you have to do the things, right? You have to come to class. And if you miss class, you got to make things up. You got to do whatever it is, right? Okay? If you do that, you get an A. So like half the class the past couple of years, several years, has gotten an A. And then like another 20% gets an A minus. But they're all the people who do the work. They jump through the hoops. You got to do everything. If you don't, you're not going to get the grade. You miss things. You miss your packbacks. You miss your world in conversation. You don't do this. You don't do that. Okay, then your grade starts going down. But if you do it, you're killing it. And then I don't have a lot of people coming back to me saying like, oh my God, this is like whatever. And that's the way I survive. That's why I'm still here. Because it's all on you. You do it, you're fine. I don't care. If 100% of you got an A, I'm fine with that. I don't care. That just means you did all the work. And the class is set up where you have to do all the work. We've sort of cut the corners on the cheating. We found there's a little bit of cheating that was happening. We've stopped that. So like, if you have friends giving you shortcuts about how you get through this class, there are no shortcuts anymore. We closed all those doors, locked them, and threw the key away. So you won't do that. Okay, is that cool? You just do the work and you get out and you get an A, and then I'm happy about it. I'd love if every single one of you got an A, because nobody cares. They might care. I might get yelled at, but I don't care, because I'm 61 years old and I'm going to die. And I'm going to die a hell of a lot sooner than most all of you. And so what do I don't care. I don't care. Okay, cool. And who's they anyway? I don't know who's they. The authorities. Oh my God. All right, hang on, Lee. You ready? Next, can we go to the next slide? Okay, we'll start taking attendance next week. By the way, if you're sick, don't come to class. Watch the live stream. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. Watch the live stream or do whatever you got to do, but don't come to class, right? If you're sick, we good? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. There's enough space in here. There's always more space down front. Come down up front if you feel like too many people up there. Come down here. We start doing attendance in class. We'll pass around attendance sheets. We're going old school, man. Old school. So we'll explain that on Tuesday. All right. And I'll introduce you to a couple gentlemen who are going to be doing attendance in here. All right. What's the next one? Hey, can we? Oh. So Alex is going to go in the back. I want to kind of just give you I'll introduce you to the camera ops on a different day. Right now, we're just going to go here. So this is what's going on back here. Well, not that. There we go. All right, man. That's the scene back here. Oh, yeah, all right, I got you. So this is the live stream, right? And it's I don't know, it's like cool, it's what's happening, right? So these are all students that are running the stream, and it's awesome. Student camera ops, everyone's a student, except me and Yuli, who you're going to meet in a hot minute. How's that? Are we good? Joyalicious. Wait, I got to do this. All right, is that cool? Hey, all right, Ben. Hey, we're going to bring Julie in right now. Is she on? Is she ready to go? Hey, first off, Nidhi. So there are two people I want to introduce you to. This is, can you introduce yourself? And I already did. Nidhi.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
okay.
Just hold it close.
Okay, I'm Nidhi. He calls me Nidhi. I joined last semester, and I've been having a really fun time with just working here.
Wait, hang on a second. Hold on. Hey, can you guys put green on the overhead? Can you put green on the overhead? Oh, it is? All right, anyway, Nidhi. Yeah. So you're here. And what's your job?
I don't know what what's happening.
Hey, here, hang on. Here, use that one.
Okay, yeah, I'm Nidhi.
What's your job?
My job is to sit here at the podium and
You're driving the bus,
I'm pretty much driving the class and
keeping me in line.
yep,
When I say things that are out of line, you let me know.
I'm like,
Yeah, okay, I got
and
you.
apparently I'm gonna have a bell this semester to make sure he doesn't say anything wrong.
Yeah.
But we'll
yeah,
see how that goes.
Yeah, all that.
But yeah, this
That's
is a
your
really
job.
fun class.
If I get fired
Yeah,
ever, it's your
it's
fault.
my fault.
Yeah,
I take the blame.
you take the blame,
Promise,
my
yeah.
friend. All right, Matt. And then okay, thanks. Thanks for rocking it. And then we're gonna bring Julie on. And yeah, Nidhi is just really holding it down. It's complicated. You got all these things going on and everything. It's not only happening for the class, but it's happening for the stream. Like we're doing multiple things at any one time. So, Julie, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Hola Sam,
¿Cómo
bien, ¿me escuchan bien?
Ok, muy bien. ¿Cómo está el stream?
Bien, se ve bien.
Ok, muy bien. Julie está en Bogotá, Colombia. Yeah.
Hi guys.
So,
Nice
Julie,
to-
what is your job for the class?
Okay, I work with you, trying to manage the class from Bogota, Colombia. I will be assisting you guys resolving questions, anything regarding with assignments, grades at the end of the semester, quizzes, things related with attendance, and everything with the administrative operations of the class.
And when they send emails to staff at social19.org, that goes all the way down to Bogota, correct?
Yeah, and we will answer that as fast as we can, but just if you use that staff email, don't communicate over Canvas
Yeah.
by staff.
So Julie responds, so you know, Julie responds really fast to email. You don't send, if you think like, oh, I really need to get this information to Sam, I'll send it to Sam's personal email. Dude, bad idea, right? And not that I wouldn't want to respond, but I get like 100 emails a day, and I'm not going to keep up with it. I'm just not. It's going to take me 2 days to forward it to Julie, and it just slows it down. If there's anything that you think, first of all, if there's something really personal you don't want to share it with Julie, that's fine. You can email me and just put in the subject line, hey, this is personal. But otherwise, she just takes things and runs it to me. If I get a text at 3 in the morning from Julie, I respond to it. So like, it happens really fast, okay? But if you send me an email, it could be 2 or 3 days before I respond to it. Okay, is that cool? So staff at social19.org. Okay, what advice would you give the class, Julie?
Say it again, please.
What
I couldn't hear.
What advice would you give the class?
Read the syllabus. Everything is in the syllabus. And if you can find the answer in the syllabus, then I can answer that for you. But first of all, read the syllabus.
Yes.
I will say guys to read the syllabus.
Yeah, in the syllabus, ¿cuántas páginas hay? ¿Cuántas páginas? There's
There are
like
a few,
16,
like,
right?
as much,
Yeah.
as much. Six.
It's fucking
pretty-
yeah, I'm mentally ill, right? It's like 16 pages. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? But she's mentally ill also because she edited it and added to it. So we're all good. All
And
right.
I'm also a geologist. That's why I'm also mentally ill.
Awesome, man. Okay. Ciao. Gracias. Nos vemos. Julie and I have this thing where we always speak Spanish with her. I always speak Spanish with her because I'm always just like, it's just a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. If you're a person who has learned a second language, if you grew up bilingual, but if you're a person who has learned another language, you know that you have to just speak it all the time, right? So I just love speaking Spanish. So I just, okay. Where else are we? Back channel chat. Can you kick that up? laptops. Oh, yeah. Hey, here's the way it goes. You can't have laptops open in this class. So I know that some of you have them open right now, but you can close them as of right now. And or make someone feel bad or anything like that. It's not about that. Well, we're going to do one today, so you're going to see kind of what it's about. And there's never gotcha moments. That's the worst possible thing. That's not what this class is. We're not here to root out racism and sexism and that sort of thing. That's not what this is. We're here to explore the world. And so it's really incumbent upon you all that you trust me, that I mean that, and you're going to see it as we go along. You're going to see that I'm really, in fact, fascinated. I'm like a little kid who I just want to learn all sorts of things. And by the way, the other thing about case studies is I do really know a lot of things about some things, but when we're doing the case studies, I empty my brain because I have to make the assumption that there are people watching, or you or whoever, that don't know anything about it. So then it's like, hey, we start from scratch, right? And I'll explain that later. I'll give you an example of that. So is that cool? So you go to social2018.org/volunteer and fill out the volunteer form. And many of you have already, and you can get extra credit for this. So, and especially if you have kind of a unique story, if there's something about you that you think, Sam might want to use this one day. We never know what it is. It could be, it could be that you grew up on a farm, right? And you grew up your whole life, milking cows or whatever. I don't know. Or you grew up in a town in rural France or wherever in Utah with like 6 people or God knows what. I have no idea, right? Or your father has 3 wives. Anything. Like, put that on the volunteer form, because you never know where we're going to talk about in class. I'm going to go, oh, right there. That'll be really interesting to talk about. Okay, cool? So we have time. Can we do, so we have 2 volunteers today. Can you 2, why don't you come? So a lot of times what we'll do, I'm going to introduce you in a few minutes, right? So what happened was I reached out. So Darnisha, who you're going to meet next week, reached out to them before class today because they already filled out the form. So here, why don't you just go out there for a second. Don't be nervous. It's all going to be really good. Don't be nervous. That's like, yeah, all right. That's like holding an ice cold beer in front of a alcoholic and saying like, hey, don't be thirsty. So here's what I'd like to have. We're going to do something that'll be, but I'd like to have another volunteer, so who is really into guns. Oh, dude, you guys went up right away. But you're really into guns? Like, serious? How many guns do you own, bro? Yeah. Well, you don't own any? Oh, wait, who said it? Who's into guns? You are. Yeah, dude, how many do you own? Oh, okay, come on. And you too, bro? You guys want to go together? Do you want to volunteer? All right, come on. All right. And you're two white guys also, right? It's like, it's always white guys. Why is it white guys? All right, man, here, come on. First off, dude.
Nick, Connor.
Okay, wait, hang on. Go ahead, introduce yourselves. You got them on the screen? Yeah, all right. So what's your names again?
I'm Nick. And I'm Connor.
And wait, how many guns do you own? Wait, no, hang on. Don't say. All right. Okay, y'all. We're ready. We're going to move you over. You're going to stand in the center right there. Hang on one second. It's kind of awkward until we, you kind of get a feel for this. All right, so we have one. Hey, you know what? You guys, why don't you, the two of you, share that mic? Are you friends? You're both friends? Mostly? Okay. So introduce yourself and where are you from? And
Hi, my name is Min-seok Kim. I'm from South Korea. I'm a first-year student.
uh-huh. And what year are you?
First year?
First year?
Yeah.
Well, so this is your second semester?
Yes.
You're from Seoul?
No, I'm from Jeonju.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Hi, my name is Avril. I'm a junior majoring in finance, and I'm from Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates.
Abu Dhabi. But your ancestry is, your family's from India, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's from India. I grew up in India, but I moved to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
Okay. And, bro, yeah, we can go. So, and where are you? Say your name again and where are you from?
Yeah, my name's Connor. I'm a senior here, and I'm from Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
From where? Where at?
Downingtown?
Downingtown? Okay.
My name's Nick. I'm a senior, also from downtown Pennsylvania.
Dude, awesome, man. Downingtown. So here's the deal, you two. Avril? Did I say it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Minsu. Minsung. Minsong. Tong. Oh, God. Say it one more time. Song.
Yeah.
Man, this is so difficult. I swear, Koreans and Chinese, y'all just decided to make a language that nobody else would ever be able to pronounce any other words. All right. Okay, so here's the deal. You can turn this way, kind of that way, and you guys can turn this way. So these guys are really into guns. Guns, yeah. And so what I want you, the two of you, to do, you're both international students. Do you first off, do you own any guns? No. No? Do you own any guns? Fred?
No.
Okay. What I'd like for the two of you to do is ask them questions about, I want you to learn as much as you can about guns in the U.S. You guys, any questions at all, right? So this is a case study. So your job is to learn to help all the other international students in the class, everybody who's watching the live stream on video, who are always wondering about Americans and guns and what's this all about. Your job is to get the answers from these two gentlemen right here. So, any questions?
Sure. Where did you get them?
Pretty much gun store. Yeah.
Gun store. That's a good question, actually. Okay.
What's the minimum age to get the guns in like different states overall, or like is there a common rule or something?
It's 18 for rifles and shotguns and 21 for pistols.
Is that same for all the states or different?
Yeah, it's a federal thing.
And like, sorry.
Why do you have it?
Well, I do a lot of hunting, and then also just, I like them. They're fun.
Wait, what was your question? Why do you have them?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. Make sure everybody speak. Make sure you answer also. Wait, can we just get another microphone? Do you have one that we can use? Huh? Let's try it. Okay, bro. You it's really touchy, so you got it. You're used to handling bullets, so you're all good. Wait, so what was your next question?
How do the teenagers get the guns if the minimum age is 18 or 21? Like, how do the kids in the high school and middle school get the guns?
I mean, typically most times it's probably a parent that did not lock the guns up properly. But yeah, there's no way that a store would sell you a gun under 18.
Wait, so what would say that they didn't?
He asked why these kids in high school get guns, and I said a lot of the time guns are just not properly stored, and they're like probably in not a great spot, and the kids will just take them.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stupid people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
How did you learn, how do you use guns?
Hunting?
Wait, say that really clear. That's a great question. Say it loud and clear.
How did you learn how to use guns?
How to use guns?
Yeah.
Honestly, YouTube. I
Dude, you learn about guns and sex
Yeah.
on YouTube.
no. People in my family, like, I'm like the first one who like got into guns and all that. My dad bought them before I was 18, so I could get into it. But like, I kind of learned everything just through
Okay.
YouTube and I guess friends.
Yeah, and bro, how about you?
I learned from my dad. My dad's a police officer, so he's had guns my whole life, so he's just kind of taught me.
So, yeah, bro, ask him how many guns he owns.
How many guns do you have?
So in my name, I only have 3, but through like my family, me and my dad, like totally 15.
15. That's about how many guns there are in all of Korea, by the way. So, you know, am I right on that? You know what I mean? Go. So, what do you have a response to 15? Do you have a follow-up question to 15?
Do you have the license to use it, or do you just use it like because your dad is a cop?
So you only need a license to carry it concealed in Pennsylvania. So you could technically, I don't know what the state college rules are, but you could just walk around with a gun open carry, like around your shoulder or outside your waist. Like if it's underneath the sweatshirt, you need a license. And then you can just apply to that at your local courthouse. So.
Uh-huh. Huh. Okay. Do you have another question? Or what other questions do you have? So this is here. I'm going to put this in a perspective, right? Have you ever talked to anybody who has? Have either of you ever talked to Americans who have like a lot of guns?
Yeah, my roommate, freshman year roommate, had guns and everything. He was shooting,
Yeah.
so I'm used to
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Have you ever had a conversation?
No.
So how many guns do you have, by the way?
Probably about 10.
10?
Yeah.
If you just you? Your
I
family.
guess technically in my name, maybe 5 or 6,
Mhm.
and then like throughout just.
So what are some of the guns that you guys have? That's a good question for you.
I guess I've got 4 shotguns, pistol, like a Civil War gun, and then an AR-15, and 1 or 2 rifles.
An AR-15?
Yep.
Where do you know what that is?
No.
Dude, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Can you tell her what that is?
It's an assault rifle. It just shoots a lot of bullets in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Where do you shoot that? Wait, hang on. That's a question. Ask him that question.
Where do you shoot the bullets, or like where do you go for shooting range?
Well, I mean, typically there's a shooting range right down the road from here. It's open to the public as long as you have a hunting license or have a range permit. And then obviously I hunt a lot too, so that's another time when I'll be shooting.
Uh-huh. And ask him about what guns he has.
What guns do you have?
Pretty much the same as him. A couple pistols, some shotguns, a couple hunting rifles, and then a couple assault rifles as
You
well.
have an AR-15?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, I have a question for you. Ready? Do you know what an AR-15 is? It's like serious. Ask him what it's like to shoot an
What it's like to shoot AR-15?
AR-15.
AR-15.
So it's actually very easy to shoot. It's a small bullet, so there's not much recoil at all, and it's a semi-auto, so that eats up a lot of the recoil. So you pretty much just load it, pull the bolt back, and then just pull the trigger 30
Like,
times.
do you
and-
feel good when you shoot?
Makes you feel like a badass.
Yeah, dude. It must be fun as hell, man. You know what I mean? God. Ask him if they would take you out shooting. Ask him if you could shoot their guns.
Can I shoot your guns?
Yeah, you wanna? Here.
Do you guys ever take people out shooting?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah?
We have a friend from. We also have a friend who is from Dubai, and they can't have guns there.
Yeah.
And he kind of wanted us to show him how to do it, and we brought him hunting with us
Do you
before.
have to go to Downingtown, or do you shoot up here sometime?
Oh, right up here. There's like 10 minutes down the road. There's a public range.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Dude, you could go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to go? Would you want to shoot a gun?
Yeah.
Could you take us shooting?
I would do it, yeah.
Oh, dude, awesome, man. I'm sure there are going to be it'd be cool. I'm sure there would be other people in class who would like to shoot. Like, could you take me? I've never shot an AR-15.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what else? So, like, do you have another question? Do you guys have any questions?
Like, what laws are in place to, like, we see these shootings happening on a daily basis, right? So what laws and how the enforcement agencies are not able to avoid these kind of incidents? Or like, where are they going wrong in which situation?
So in a lot of these instances, I think the last one that happened in Michigan, the school shooting, I think it was Michigan, the kid got the gun from his parents. So it's either like your parents buy the gun, they misplace it, or in like a lot of like street crime, it's illegal guns. So just like guns that aren't registered, not from the store, just sold illegally.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? Like, how do the two of you, when you hear one of those stories of a tragic shooting like that, what goes on in your mind?
I think a lot of the time, I think mental health checks should like kind of be part of like purchasing a gun. I mean, literally anyone can get it, and I mean, with a high population, there's always just going to be like a small percent of people that are just really dumb or just dangerous people, and there's really no way of like kind of barring those people from buying a gun. I mean, obviously people who are like legally insane are not allowed to buy them, but there's also people that are just, you have no idea and just could snap one day and
Sure.
they can just purchase a gun just like any other person.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering so like in a class like this, so here we are, and so it's 119, and I'm like, hey, who's really into guns? Did either of you feel kind of weird about saying no? Your hand seemed like it went up really fast. Did you?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I grew up around them, so I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
And in rural state college, I'm sure there's a lot of other kids that feel the same way. And Pennsylvania being pretty easy to get a gun.
Yeah.
A lot of people have them.
I grew up with guns, so my memory is my dad was really into guns. We always had guns all over the house. So my first time I shot a gun, I was like 4. So he was really insistent that I knew how to shoot guns, and I couldn't play with toy guns. I could not even, if I had a squirt gun, a water gun, I could not even point it at somebody. So we never got to even do that because I wasn't allowed.
yeah, I think a lot of people are just scared of them and like don't have knowledge. And a lot of people like pass laws really have no I think if you had like background with them, you'd like understand it more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think some issues that they like bring up just don't have the knowledge behind it, and I don't know, people are just scared of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think it would be. So the Civil War gun that you say that you have,
Yeah.
that probably has the most kick, right?
Actually, the least. It's just
Yeah. Is it loud though? Aren't they really
extremely loud. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you got?
How do your parents respond? Like, when these incidents happen, do your parents talk to you or like try to get if you're like, somehow on the same path or like, you know what I mean?
I mean, my mom gets mad every time I come home when I buy a gun, but I think they know that I don't think I'm very stupid. Take good care of them, put them in the right spots. Obviously, everyone with those kind of tragedies, it's upsetting hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think if you take the proper care, and I don't know,
Uh-huh.
you can prevent those situations most of the time.
Yeah. Bro, how about a question for you, right? How is it for you that your father is a police officer?
Mm-hmm.
So how is it for you with all of the criticism and the distrust of police and you have a father who's a police officer, right? So you see it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And how has it been for you these past couple of years when the police have really come under under scrutiny?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for me, I mean, just any police officer going to work today, it's a dangerous world out there. They got to always have their back, and just worried about like getting killed by random people. And I know my mom worries about him a lot going to work, but luckily he's an officer in a pretty good area,
Uh-huh.
a good town, so he doesn't see too much like dangerous crime like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But like you said, there are a lot of people out there.
Yeah,
with
no, and you never
anyone
know.
People can get guns, right? Does anybody have a question they want to ask? Especially any international students who would be. All right, can you stand? Actually, can you? Look toward that camera. Can you put white on? Actually, wait. Look toward this camera, bro. We're gonna put you on. Turn toward this one. Put blue on or white. Yeah, there you go. Okay, go ahead. Just speak to the camera. They'll see you.
Oh, okay. You said you do hunting, like you own guns because you hunt. What do you hunt?
Oh yeah, do you hunt? Good question, dude. Yeah, that's like one question we didn't ask. How come you guys didn't ask that question? All right.
What was the question again?
Like someone said that you own guns because you want to hunt, like you go to hunting. What do you hunt?
Everything. Mostly, I guess, deer, ducks, and geese. That's what we typically go for, and turkeys.
Why do you hunt?
No one in my family does it. I kind of, like I said, learned through YouTube, and I really just was watching like hunting shows, and I wanted to get into it. I really enjoy being outside. It's like a pastime that has just been declining. Not a lot of people are into it. I just love being outside. It tastes great. It's also a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what do you feel after you like kill a living, or like for your enjoyment, you're killing it? So like,
Recoil.
Dude.
No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, first up.
No,
that's a
obviously,
great
like
question. Go
taking
ahead.
a life is like not like something that is enjoyable at all. But I mean, if you're just shooting something to just shoot it and you're not even going to eat it or anything like that, I think that's pretty bad. But I mean,
like, how does it feel to know that you have their bloods on your hand? Like you
All
are
right,
the
well-
one who killed
Dude.
them.
if you,
By the way, these are really nice questions.
Yeah.
Go there. And I want you to answer also. How's it feel to have the like blood on your hands? Like, how is that?
So it's kind of like a primitive thing. Like you almost feel the respect of the animal. It's not like you feel good, but you feel that it's going to be the quickest way that they're going to see death in the life cycle. Like the natural death's going to be a lot worse and more painful than just getting shot and dying in like 15 seconds, 30 seconds probably.
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't live in a primitive world now. So like,
Oh wait, hang on. Have you ever been to a factory farm?
I've
where-
seen
where-
those shows. I mean, I'm vegetarian, so like, just killing of
Right,
animals
yeah.
is still
Okay,
very.
all right. Wait, where are you from?
I'm from India.
You're from India, and okay, vegetarian. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Aditya.
Okay.
Adi is fine.
Dude, thanks for great questions. But those of you who are, I'm going to do a Social 19 moment, like a turnaround kind of thing, right here. Great questions, by the way. You ever been to like a factory farm where we raise animals to kill them in a slaughterhouses? Talk about like inhumane. Talk about barbaric, right? What you all are doing when you go out and kill an animal, take its life. So here, this is something, right? You kill an animal, another being, right? A life form. You take its life from it. Now its spirit is on you, okay? So you take responsibility for that. Its blood is on you, and then you eat the animal, okay? Now that's like karma on here. That's like karma for you guys. That's like karma that just hangs over your shoulders, right? But now imagine all these other people in the class who eat meat. We would never take the life of an animal, but you're really happy to go to Giant or Bilo or Wiscoy or Wegmans or wherever you go, and you go to the meat aisle, and it's sitting on this little foam platter covered in plastic, and it's a slice of something that used to be a piece of a body of another living being that was tortured horrifically in a factory farm that you can't even imagine the conditions under most of these factories. We're not talking, listen, you're from Downingtown. We're not talking about those of you who farm for meat. We're not talking about, you have a small farm and you don't torture. I'm talking about places where there's 3 million hogs, right? Or 5 million chickens, and they live in a little cage. A chicken lives in a little cage smaller than this, and it lays eggs every day, and it never ever sees outside of that cage, and the egg drops down below that, and it goes and it shows up, and you buy it, and that chicken has no feathers on it because it can't have feathers on it, and it's been tortured its whole life. But you wouldn't go out and take a chicken and break its neck and cut its head off and take feathers out of it, which is an infinitely better life for the chicken to live a free life, and then you go and kill it, but people wouldn't think of doing that, right? So you guys go and you take a life and okay, but no one feels like, it's different for you, bro, because you're a vegetarian, right? But that doesn't somehow seem weird. But do both of you eat meat? Yeah. So you see what I mean? So this is. Do you want to say anything about what I just said?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it reduces the guilt. People that grocery shop.
Yep. Yep.
Some of that, and then also, not coming out the vegetarians, but to plow a field that you're going to put everything in, you're literally killing every single living thing in that field. So.
With chemicals also often.
Yeah.
I mean, it's further down on the food chain, but still.
Just because they're small little worms.
Dude, my wife, every time she weeds and she pulls a weed out of the ground, she feels it in her belly, man. It's just God. So okay, well, how different is that than a cow? It's like, how do you eat cows, but you wouldn't eat a dog? You know what I mean? Go eat a dog. If you feel like it's okay to go eat a lamb, then eat a dog. What the hell's the difference, right? A dog and a lamb, just because you've decided not to do that. So anyway, listen, man. Gentlemen, thanks for you all. Thanks for you all. Thanks, man. Thanks. Did you guys even greet each other? Wait, greet each other.
We're in the hallway drinking.
Oh, yeah. Listen, man. Thanks, Jim. Hey, so listen, everybody, hang out. Let me just finish it right here. In my watch, we have a minute and a half left. But what time is it now? 4:19. We have 1 minute left. Listen, real fast. That's the kind of a case study. Okay, that's what we do. Stuff like that, right? So it's really good if you please apply, say something about who you are and what you are, and then we'll do it. Next class, we'll have a good class. Yeah. Oh, wait, one more thing. We need one more camera operator. So if you have a friend who would like to take this class but doesn't really need 4 credits and would like to get credit and come and run one of the cameras all semester long and get credit for doing that, sociology credit, come see me after class or have them contact staff at Social 19 and we'll see about it.